Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to Buddha, the Enlightened One. Gratitude to the Sangha for preserving and propagating the Dhamma. Gratefulness to devotees and donors for supporting the Sangha. Venerable monks, dear meritorious Upasaks and Upasikas, brothers and sisters in the Dhamma, today, the full moon day is also known as Guru Purnima or Ashada Purnima. This is the day when Buddha gave discourse, his first discourse, and it came to be known as Dhammacakka Pavatana Sutta. Buddha's teachings are nothing but truth, and therefore he explained his Dhamma in terms of 4 noble truths. They are 4 in number, and they are noble because whoever understands, appreciates, and practices, it makes that person, ennobles that person, and therefore it is known as the 4 noble truths. In the first noble truths, Buddha explains about dukkha, that is suffering. The definition of suffering given by Buddha in the first noble truth, he says that jativi dukkha, jarabi dukkha, vyadipi dukkho, maranampi dukkham. Apiyehi sampayogo dukkho, piyehi vipayogo dukkho, yam picham na labati tampi dukkham, sankittena panchupadana khanda dukkha. Jativi dukkha, that is birth, is suffering. Jarabi dukkha, aging is suffering. Vyadipi dukkho, disease is suffering. Maranampi dukkham, that is death, is also suffering. These are the 4 stages of life which everyone has to go through, and they are suffering. Then he says, Appiyehi sampayogo dukkho, that means to be associated with things that you don't like, or situations that you don't like, or persons whom you don't like, to come in contact with them, to associate with them, is suffering. Piyehi vipayogo dukkho, that which is dear to you, or the situations of persons whom you like, and if you get disassociated with them, that is also suffering. Yam picham na labati tampi dukkham, whatever one desires, and if one does not get it, that is also suffering. Sankittena panchupadana khanda dukkha. So in short, the 5 aggregates affected by clinging, this is dukkha. So you can find that this definition is dukkha is a perfect definition. There is no other dukkha which you can say is out of this definition. And someone who hears this definition of dukkha, this first noble truths, they think that this is a pessimistic teaching. But the question is not of pessimism or optimism, it is about realism. What Buddha is talking about dukkha, it is a fact of life, it is reality. And then in the second noble truth, Buddha talks about the cause of suffering. And he explains as Yayam tanaha pono bhavika nandi raga sagata tatra tatra binandini sayyatidam kamatanaha bhavatanaha vibhavatanaha. Now in this Pali, he is explaining what is the cause of suffering. The cause of suffering is craving, taking delight in this or that, here and there, namely the delight in sensual pleasures, the craving for existence, and also the craving for annihilation. So broadly speaking, there are 3 kinds of craving which is cause for suffering. That is kamatanaha, bhavatanaha, and vibhavatanaha. That is craving for sensual pleasures, craving for existence, and craving for annihilation. This is the cause for suffering. In the third noble truth, he explains that there is an end of suffering. And what is that? Then he explains that Tassa eva tanhaya asesa viraga nirodho chago patinisaggo mutti analayo. That means that very craving, to give up that very craving, to renunciate, to let go, this is what is called the end of suffering, which is a synonymous term for nibbana. So to attain nibbana or nirvana, that is end of suffering. And then in the fourth noble truth, he explains the path leading to cessation of suffering. And what is that path leading to cessation of suffering? It is the Noble Eightfold Path, or known as Aryo Atthangiko Maggo, namely the right view, right thinking, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration. This Noble Eightfold Path, which is again divided into three sections, namely morality, meditation, and wisdom, which in Pali we call it as Sila, Samadhi, and Panya. So this is the path which leads to cessation of suffering. Now let us take this example. In the modern day, we are suffering from this COVID-19 pandemic. Now in order to deal with this, we have to take 3 steps. What are those 3 steps? The first step is called sanitization. That means we have to keep clean our environment, maintain cleanliness. This is sanitization. The second step is immunization. That means you should take a lot of vitamin C and a good diet so that you have the immunity in your body. The third one is vaccination or medication. So you should take proper medicine, or if the vaccine is available, you take that vaccine. This is how you deal with the virus. Now similarly, if we see from the Dhamma point of view, we also suffer from a virus called Raga, Dvesha, and Moha. That is greed, hatred, and delusion. In order to get rid of this virus, we have to follow these 3 steps. These 3 steps are nothing but Sila, Samadhi, and Panya. Sila is a sanitization, a kind of sanitization at the physical level. And what is this Sila? This Sila is nothing but the 5 precepts. That is to abstain from killing, abstain from stealing, abstain from sexual misconduct, abstain from false speech, and abstain from all kinds of intoxicants. So this is a kind of sanitization at the physical level. Then the second step is immunization, that is at the mental level. How do you immunize? By meditating. If you meditate, you develop a kind of mental immunity, an internal immunity, by which you can face these defilements or eradicate these defilements, or you get the strength to face these defilements. The third is wisdom. This is a kind of vaccination whereby you eliminate those very defilements totally. You root it out. So in this way, we can see in the physical world, we face the virus, we deal the virus with sanitization, immunization, and vaccination or medication. Similarly, in the spiritual field, we deal these very defilements of Raga, Dvesha, and Moha through Sila, Samadhi, and Panya. So in this way, we should handle the mental defilements. So these 4 noble truths taught by Buddha can be said as a universal problem solving formula. You can take any problem and put this into the pattern of 4 noble truths and you can solve the problem. Like for example, the first one, there is a problem. The second noble truth, there is a cause for problem. The third noble truth, there is cessation of problem. And the fourth, there is a path leading to the end of the problem. So in this way, these four noble truths can be used as a universal problem solving formula. So this Sila, Samadhi and Panya is practiced during these 3 months. As you know, these 3 months, which is called the rainy retreat or Vasana, the monks who keep on traveling throughout the year for 9 months almost. So at least these 3 months, they stay at one place and practice seriously, whether it be studying the scriptures or meditating. And as far as lay persons are concerned, they also practice Dhamma seriously, like the 4 days of a month, full moon day, the new moon day, waxing moon and waning moon. These 4 days, they practice the 8 precepts and also meditation. In this way, even the lay people, they take Dhamma seriously and practice for these 3 months. During these 3 months, they practice the 8 precepts. These 8 precepts, some of them follow throughout the 3 months, some follow even for 2 months, or some even for a month. But normally, they practice it on the 4 Uposatha days, as we call it, that is the full moon day, new moon day, and the waxing moon and the waning moon. On these days, the lay people go to the vihara, offer dana. Instead of 5 precepts, they take 8 precepts, meditate, and listen to the discourse. So in this way, they spend the whole day in the vihara, gaining merits through dana, sila, samadhi, and panya. So therefore, to conclude, I would say that Buddha, the guide to humanity, taught Dhamma to experience reality. He said not to be obsessed with materiality, but to practice the path of spirituality. And this path, he said, is none other than the path of wisdom, meditation, and morality. So the Buddha, the guide to humanity, Buddha as a guide to humanity has taught this Dhamma not as a philosophy, but something to experience the reality. And that reality you can experience only when you practice the path of Sila, Samadhi, and Panya, of which morality is the foundation. This morality, which lies in the 5 precepts, and these precepts are nothing but a self-imposed discipline by the self to the self. So I hope during these 3 months of Vasana, all of you will practice Sila, Samadhi, and Panya for your own good, for your own benefit, and for the good and benefits of all others around you. With this, I conclude. May you all be well and happy. Bhavatu Sabba Mangalam.